Howdy folks, once again En1yso, and this time versus VYBA. Also once again on Hero? This map. I actually like this map, even though it's really strange. And it's got this like bug here, but I quite like this map. Obviously not as a nature or frost player, but this time both players are playing shadow. Both players take the standard, well positioned here. And looks like they're going to come towards the center. Probably going to be a center fight. VYBA is spawning some units. Yeah, you kind of need to have a center fight here, even though the center is not that valuable. I quite like the center. The more I play on this map, the more I realize the center is valuable. But the problem is because if you spawn units and your opponent doesn't, or if you don't spawn units and your opponent does, then your opponent has units they can attack you with. Okay, En1yso is just running away. VYBA is chasing him with one squad of Forsaken, one squad of one Dread Charger. I don't like this because now he's attacking here. There's 110 power chasing 60 power. So whatever attack he does here, En1yso has more power to defend. So yeah, I don't like that move. I think if you're gonna do this, you just say like, just kidding, and throw everything into the attack here. Maybe VYBA knows something I don't. He is certainly a better shadow player than me. Certainly a better player than me in the old days. Probably still a better player than me right now. But yeah, VYBA realized that and stopped chasing with the Forsaken. And it's just Dread Charger chasing Dread Charger. Both players took an extra well. VYBA's got a Forsaken squad here and there. So VYBA is down power, and En1yso takes a kind of greedy well position. Not that greedy though, because VYBA is down in tier 1, and he's not going to be able to punish that very effectively. Looks like he's trying. So VYBA is going in for a tier 1 attack instead of just taking another well. Two squads are Forsaken from En1yso, not frenzied. This Dread Charger coming in to maybe get a nasty. One squad of VYBA's is Forsaken, is frenzied, and another squad of En1yso's comes this way to perhaps launch an attack of his own. Forsaken are frenzied now. Probably should be attacking the Dread Charger. Maybe not. And En1yso looks like he wants to go tier 2 and get some serious map control. Forsaken versus Forsaken here. These are frenzied though, so they'll win in the short term. This Dread Charger has more health. VYBA looks like he wants to get the tier 2 spot. Oh, he got hung up on pathing. VYBA does get the tier 2 spot. And tier 2 from En1yso as well. Again, VYBA is down a well though. He takes this well here in response. It's hard to say if this is a panic move or just like realization that you're Shadow Frost and you can't. I mean, it's hard to penetrate a Shadow Frost defense. Frenzy on this Forsaken squad here. That might have been a bit premature. And this Dread Charger runs back. Because, I mean, VYBA would like to get this well position here, because at some point, En1yso is going to take this well, and VYBA will have to respond with this well. So VYBA would like to keep its Dread Charger alive as a ground presence unit. Stormsinger and the Nightcrawler is frenzied here. So VYBA would like to avoid frenzying his Nightcrawler, and because he's got the Stormsinger, he does so just fine. VYBA's got, VYBA's got 50 power. He decides to go for an attack rather than just taking the well. This is like, I don't know. I don't know how I think about this, because he's got 60 power bound taking a well, right? Like, so the problem is that if he takes a well in the short term, he uses 100 power that he could use to attack or defend somewhere else. But kind of in the long term, he's binding 60 power. Taking a well means he's binding 100 power, so it's only like 40 more power long term bound. I don't know. He takes the well. Dread Charger heals up. Maybe he's forgotten about it. Frenzy from En1yso's defender or defense, and that frostbite means that he's going to get something down. Except there's a counter frostbite, very good from VYBA. These dark elves were their ability was activated. He's just going to run away and wait for the frenzy to run out. Dread Charger's still sitting here, binding 60 power, and VYBA is going to come attack over here. So En1yso, I think, has a small power advantage because of how much power he had earlier. Okay, nice. But now VYBA has an advantage in map control. All the Nightcrawlers are taking the other one. Oh, they're frenzied though, so they're gonna die quite quickly. Okay, so he makes another Nightcrawler. I don't see where this attack could go. En1yso is binding more power down here, so VYBA might have slightly more power to do something. And En1yso decides to take a position over here. He's confident in his defense. That may be a little too confident. But no, I think this is going to be just fine here. Okay, this is actually getting kind of low. Okay, there's the Cobalt trick. And this guy's frenzied, so he's still doing good damage, but freeze? Glacier Shell, okay. The thing about Glacier Shell though is that Life Weaving penetrates it. So okay, now I'm actually kind of worried about this spot. The Nightcrawler here, he didn't take the wall yet, but he just wants a spot. I think it'll be fine, but it's really hard to say. Like if these Dark Elf Assassins were, if they had Life Weaving and they walked over, that might be enough. VYBA's not playing at his power limit, so that was a close call. En1yso decides to stop binding these power here. He comes to attack. The Dread Charger is still there. Freeze here did nothing because whatever was getting attacked is already dead. And En1yso takes a well. Advantage has shifted to En1yso's, but you can see the game still got a lot left. And En1yso had an advantage earlier, and VYBA kind of took charge and got it back. So far seems a nice back and forth. Two squads of Dark Elves on En1yso's side. I'm not sure what he wants to do with them. Unless he wants ground presence, I would recommend killing him and getting the power back. En1yso is going for an attack here. He's frostbitten, and VYBA decides he doesn't care anymore. He's just going to take his Dark Elves and maybe launch an attack here. We've got an attack going on over here. VYBA's side is finally doing something with Dread Charger. And Nightcrawler here to take out this Nightcrawler, who's still frostbitten and has 29 health left. These Dark Elves are hitting the well. I don't know why hit the well when you can just hit the Dark Elves over here instead, because the well can just repair. Fun fact, when a well repairs naturally, it does not lose power to the void. So it's always more efficient in the long term to heal naturally instead of using a repair. But in the short term, I believe Cobalt Trick actually is like less power used than a regular repair. VYBA comes in and frenzies. En1yso's gone tier 3. I forgot to make note of that. So En1yso is tier 3, and he's up a well. So, also VYBA's tier 3. Forgot to mention that too. That nasty there didn't do anything. And we're going to see half the match being a Shadow Frost tier 3 mirror. Timeless One and Dread Chargers on both sides. Looks like their deck is pretty much the same. Cursewell. VYBA play, or not VYBA, En1yso plays Cursewell. So that might be the deciding factor. Certainly if VYBA does not have Cursewell, I think this is going to be an easy game for En1yso. VYBA has defended this. I mean, he hasn't really defended it because Cursewell just killed it, but he's gotten rid of the units. He can now launch an attack of his own, maybe over here. He's got a Aura of Corruption. This might hold if En1yso uses Cursewell, which he doesn't quite have the power to. Okay, this drops. VYBA didn't have the power to do anything over here. He's got still some Dark Elves out in the field, and he's trying to make something happen here. En1yso just crystalled that. It killed his Tremor, but it dropped the well. And VYBA is trying to make something happen over here. Shield building has stopped this attack, but he can come over this way until, of course, there's a glacier shell or something. VYBA's lost several wells now. He's got a timeless one sitting here. He is close to getting this. Okay, nice, nasty. Dropped the well. Yeah. So in this matchup, it's kind of like either you. Oh, nice, nasty. That killed everything. It was maybe slightly. I guess it was exactly. No, it's 10 power more efficient. But more importantly, the attack is stopped. Is he going to try this nasty again? No, he doesn't. I haven't seen a curse well from VYBA, which I don't know if that means he doesn't have it or if it means he's just trying to like be honorable at this point in time before he decides it's too much. I mean, I don't know if you can say honorable when he's got timeless one. Yeah, VYBA's going for some split attacks. Timeless one. There's a curse well. Yep, so just based on Cursewell, En1yso's been taking out VYBA's stuff. VYBA is putting good pressure. If he's going for a split attack like this, I feel like he should just push on the wells, or on the orbs. Because, I mean, I don't think at this stage in the game, VYBA can compete with dropping wells as fast as En1yso can curse well them. So I feel like he should be trying to go for an orb, and then if he can get an orb down, it's something different, right? Like right now, see, if he'd been targeting that orb from the beginning, then perhaps the orb would have dropped, and it would have been, you know, a much different story if the orb is gone, but the well is still up, because then he can launch an attack somewhere else, and En1yso is still tier 3. But, I don't know, maybe. Hard to say. I certainly have noticed that tendency in myself. There's another curse ball. I've noticed that tendency in myself to just, like, always attack the wells, and then I think about it after it's like, I mean, no, I should have been attacking that orb instead of the well. But yeah, so I think it's hard to say anything can happen in this game. VYBA's launching good attacks. He's pushing through in some cases, but I mean, curse well. And the decks seem otherwise the same. Split attack coming here. This has died, but another silver and a tremor here. Tremor coming here. VYBA wants to make something happen. Okay, looks like this well's gonna drop. It does. And an attack coming here. I wonder if a nasty is called for. Never mind, I'm looking at the players the wrong way. En1yso has taken this well position, but he's having wells dropped. Why did he switch targets here? Maybe VYBA forgot about it. That's sad. This could have... Okay, and if he nasties? No, he doesn't need a nasty. He just takes that out with the ability. Okay, VYBA has a serious attack going here. If he nasties this, there we go. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so En1yso is tier 2. It is VYBA's time to strike. Unfortunately, he has no power. It's literally one power wall. Oh, he's also tier 2. I didn't even see that. Meanwhile, that happened, En1yso has dropped this. So it's tier 2 and one power well less than starting versus tier 3 and more power wells than starting. Yeah, so that's gonna be a game. Shadow Frost is a really strong deck. Both players played Shadow Frost. More importantly, in my opinion, Kurzweil is a really strong card and kind of lame. Actually, while the I try not to do this. This game's over. VYBA's not quitting, but it's over. So while the game ends, let me suggest my proposed changes for Kurzweil. Of course, changes won't happen now, etc., etc. We'll wait until a few months after the open stress test is done and the full release has happened. But at some point, changes are going to happen. Kurzweil is one of the cards which has always been considered kind of toxic, kind of overpowered. There's no counterplay. It's kind of not in the spirit of BattleForge. So, I wanted to just basically kill Kurzweil. In some conversations we've had in the past, I was like, let's make Kurzweil 300 power or 250 or something, which is like, basically you're not ever going to use it, but we're not getting rid of it, right? So I thought about that. Hiru mentioned to me that the problem with Kurzweil is that if you have games like this, which is both sides having lots of defense, lots of frost, timeless one, shield building, it's in many cases hard to penetrate the defense. And I agree with that. Like we saw this game, VYBA did good pushing through the attacks. En1yso could just click a button and it was gone. But without that button, and if En1yso was focusing on defending the attacks instead of clicking a button and killing VYBA's orbs, or VYBA's wells, then perhaps this would have been a much staler game than even now, right? And this was still 16 minutes. Half of that was tier 3. So my suggestion for Kurzweil is to make it basically like an anti-frost spell card. So basically like a disenchant, like the green like the purple disenchant, where you apply it to a well and it removes all the protection which the well has had, and it prevents protection being applied for 15 seconds. And that would be like basically specifically targeting frost. So you couldn't just like run up to someone's well, click it and it's gone. You have to have an attack. If they CC you, or if they use Nether Warp or RF Corruption or anything like that, if they can stop your attack, then you don't get the well. But the idea is that way it would be, it would prevent frost from being like, I'm gonna triple building protect this well and make sure nothing happens. So anyway, thank you guys for the game. Feel free to comment on the game or my comments about Kurzweil. I try not to make these comments like this, but we've just seen a couple replays where Kurzweil has played a pretty big role. So thank you guys for watching and listening, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.